Hey there and welcome to this little bit of live training where we are going to be talking about SARMS. Now you're wondering already, what the fuck is a SARM? Now SARM is something that is defined as selective androgen receptor modulator. Now you still don't know what the fuck that means, I'm sure. But let's just talk about first what SARMs are in relation to fitness, and then we'll break down what it actually means in terms of what's going on. So SARMs are these things that have come onto the market in a fitness and bodybuilding style way to really kind of be a answer to steroids. So steroids being the thing that are going to build you a huge amount of muscle, but come with it a large amount of risk to your health and your overall well-being. So SARMs have come onto the scene as this kind of bridge between that gap. It's still going to give you those steroid-like effects, help you build muscle, but it's without the risk and without the side effects. So what I want to talk you through now is if that actually is the case. Are SARMs the answer to your problems? You want to build muscle as quickly as possible, so you look for the opportunity to do that. So are SARMs going to give you that opportunity to build muscle as quickly as possible? Now, they are chemically similar to anabolic steroids. That's the first thing that I would say. Now, they can increase your muscle growth much quicker than you could with natural supplements and natural methods of training and nutrition. That's for sure. So for example, if you're taking creatine, that's a natural way for you to try and enhance your training performance and your muscle growth. Now, taking SARMs is going to take that on a much more significant step further, not as much as full-on steroids themselves. Now, here is the key thing. What I'm going to talk to you about over the course of this next few minutes is that there are risks, that this isn't a risk-free option. It's not the case that these are going to give you the same effects as anabolic steroids without the risk the steroids do hold themselves. It is not this clean, clear path through to your bodybuilding physique dreams. And that's what I want to sort of make you aware of. So you might be in a position now where you're training your fucking ass off. You're in the gym, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week. You're pushing hard with your weights. You're doing everything you possibly can. You're focusing on your nutrition, and you still feel like muscle growth isn't as fast as you really want it to be. You've got the picture in your mind of the guy or the girl with the amazing physique, the abs, the upper body, big legs, whatever it is that you want, they have, and you're training your ass off, you're eating right, but it's just not coming quickly enough. So maybe you've even gone down the route of considering anabolic steroids. You considered going for that extreme. It means that much to you that you really want to get to that stage. So you think, is this an answer? Is this a risk worth taking? Maybe you've then said to yourself, well, actually, no, I don't want to take that risk to my health. And that's a good decision in my book. But then you've heard about this SARMS thing, and then maybe some bros in the gym are talking about, yeah, man, take this SARMS thing. It's great. It's the same effect as anabolic steroids, but it doesn't give you the side effects. And then you're thinking, well, actually, this is just some jacked up fucking dude who's showing his nipples through a vest that doesn't quite fit. Should I really take medical advice about my health from this dude? That's a good question to ask yourself. So let us break this down and give you the real facts behind this. Because as I mentioned before, you should not think about SARMs as this risk-free thing. But first of all, let's sort of break down what actually SARMs are. Now, they come in various different forms. Now, they have weird names as well. So it's not like you get steroids or any other sort of supplement or something like that has a quite sexy sort of marketing sounding name. These have got really weird fucking names like MK-2866 and LGD/3303. It sounds like something from RoboCop. Ed 209 or whatever he was fucking called, who murdered those guys at the freaking corporate meeting that they were having, if anyone remembers that. But yeah, it sounds like that. It sounds like some sort of T-1000, some sort of fucking robot. But actually, the reason why they have these weird fucking names is that they're not actually approved for medical use. Now that should already ring a freaking alarm bell that these aren't approved yet for any form of medical use. So do you want to take that risk on yourself? That would be the first question I would ask myself if I was in your position. And also it should be the first alarm bell, as I say, that's ringing loud. Then you might say, well, okay, if it's not approved for medical use, what the fuck are they there for? Well, they're sold as research chemicals. So they're actually sold should be to like scientist dudes to test stuff, to try stuff, to maybe experiment with them. Not for you necessarily to put into your body to try and get a little bit more jacked. People aren't there, researchers aren't there thinking, how can we get people in the gym to get 24-inch biceps as quickly as possible? Or how can they get a Kim Kardashian ass in the shortest possible time frame? That is not the main thrust of research in this field. These researchers are really looking for solutions to people that have diseases or have suffered with muscle wastage or gone through various different medical conditions and trying to get them back quickly to a healthy state. But doing that with anabolic steroids is not going to be without risk. It's not going to be without side effects. So from their point of view, they're looking for solutions to help people from those situations. Sadly, jacked dude and jacked girl in the gym is not highest of priorities. Now, what actually happens with SARMs and things like that? So let's go back to a little bit of hormone conversation. Now, you've got these things in your body called androgens. There are hormones like testosterone, that is one of them, that they kind of produce masculinity. So if you think of all the masculine traits that may be linked with testosterone and things like that, that's what kind of androgens create, and kind of that's what they're all linked towards. But they are regulated by the body, as with a lot of other processes in the body, like cholesterol, like water, like pH levels of the blood. Your body has doing a fantastic fucking job of keeping all of that very well regulated, despite what you try and put it through each and every fucking day. Your body has a great way, a great method of keeping what we call homeostasis, keeping everything balanced. Now, when you take an external drug, that, like a steroid, that is going to send your androgen levels artificially through the roof. Then when you combine that with the right training, with nutrition, basically that is the signal for your body then to say, wow, we can build some fucking muscle here. Let's fucking go, boys. Or words to that effect. Or not even words. It's just a fucking body. Now, there are a huge amount of risks with that. Now, you think about steroids and you think risk. You think about some maybe reversible and some non-reversible side effects. So your balls might shrink if you're a dude. Now that could be a reversible condition. You've got acne. Obviously, if you stop taking steroids, then the acne should disappear. That's reversible. You may get some irreversible ones, like you may start to go fucking bald and things like this. And, you know, some of these, obviously not the ball one, but some of these risks are still applicable to females as well, because this isn't just a male thing. There are females out there that wish to take steroids and wish to take performance enhancing drugs of some description, and also should be aware that, you know, there is risks for all on this one. Now, SARMs, as I said before, were developed to try and be that bridge between the effect of a steroid, the sort of the building muscle side of things to help people with diseases and things like that, but also trying to get away from the risk. They're not intended to get you jacked. Now, you might then say, okay, well, what are the results? What can you actually expect? So they do help you build more muscle more quickly than if you were to do things natural, but they are nowhere near as effective as full-on steroids. But they are illegal in sport. So that's the first thing. So these are not like this legal fucking thing that you can just go and, you know, have like creatine and protein powders and your omega-3s and your vitamin Ds, and you can't just add SARMs on the end. You will no doubt fail a drug test if there's an issue that they might not be as detectable, but that aside, it's still fucking illegal. The next one is that they lack research. As I mentioned earlier, there are research chemicals. So they do lack a lot of long-term research, especially in humans. So no one really knows what the long-term effect is. So again, do you want to be the fucking guinea pig for all this sort of shit? Do you want to put your health on the line to be that guinea pig? The next thing is that because they're this research chemical, when you buy them, and you can buy them online, is that you're essentially entering into a black market where it's completely unregulated. Nobody really knows what the fuck is going in these products. You don't know what's going in these products. You have to believe that these companies that are selling them aren't necessarily the most trustworthy dudes on the planet. And potentially they're not putting in that product what you may think they are, at least to the right quantities, or the quantities that you believe are in that product. And certainly there was some research done on some SARMS products where 52% of them only contained traces of SARMS. So you've got these products that are being sold, almost half of which have no fucking SARMS in them. There's the first thing. And of the ones that did have them in, 25% had lower dosages than were claimed on the bottle. So when you're actually entering into this, not only are you entering into a world where there's a lack of research, no one knows the long-term effects on your health. You are entering into something that is technically illegal in sport. You are entering into something that we just don't know enough about, and you don't know what the hell you are fucking buying, is the cold hard truth of it all. And you still get side effects. It is not this kind of risk-free thing. There are indications that your natural testosterone production will go down, and there will be some other potential risks as well. Now, one of those ones is an increased risk of cancer. Now, I'll start off by saying that this actual study was done on mice, and therefore translating anything from a study on mice into humans almost rarely translates. So whether it's a nutrition study and you see someone testing maybe for the effects of aspartame or other artificial sweeteners, and they test them in rats and mice, they almost never translate to humans, because it probably is no surprise to you, but you aren't a big fucking mouse. Maybe a surprise to you. If you have a tail and fucking ears and whiskers, maybe you are a big fucking mouse. But we don't live in a Roald Dahl fucking book. We live in the real world. So they almost never translate directly like that. However, there was a study done on mice where after 6 weeks they stopped it because the mice had increased levels of cancer from having these SARMS products. Now, again, you can't create a direct link between mice and humans, but it does start to raise questions about, we don't know enough about how these chemicals and how these products work within the human body to really say that they're safe. That would be the thing. It's just more of an awareness rather than drawing that direct correlation. So, bottom line, should you be taking SARMS to build muscle and accelerate everything? In my opinion, hell fucking no, you should not. If you have any semblance of sense in your mind, you should be saying to yourself, the logical thing here is to not take these products. I would be almost thinking them along the lines of steroids. I would say that if you want to go take steroids, cool, that's fine. As long as you know the risks, as long as you know what's happening and you're comfortable with that and you're comfortable with taking those risks on, you want the benefits from that, then cool, fill your boots. Likewise with SARMS, if you understand that these are the effects, these are the potential side effects, the complications around health, you know that you're stepping into a black market where you don't know what the fuck you're buying. If you're happy to make that decision as an adult on your own, then go for it. But my opinion is that I would not touch them with a barge pole. I would not go anywhere near them in any way, shape or form. And my advice to you is to do exactly the same. Steer well clear. They are not tested. They give you potential side effects. Yes, you maybe get a more benefit than if you were doing things naturally, but is your health really worth that risk? That's what you've got to ask yourself. So I hope For those of you that had heard about SARMS in the past and were considering it, maybe that's giving you some clarity on what you do and don't want to do moving forward. And if you didn't have a clue about SARMS and now you're thinking, holy shit, I must stay away from these motherfuckers, hopefully that gave you the clarity that you needed to say, right, okay, now I have an informed decision that I can make on this various different things. So hopefully that helped. If it did, cool, come and let me know. Give me a hello, hi, follow on Instagram at iron_paradise_fitness. Tell me what you thought about the episode. Give me some hints as to what you want to hear on future episodes as well. And if you want to hear about online coaching with Iron Paradise Fitness, with yours truly, the voice of the podcast, then feel free to click the link in the notes. Go to ironparadisefitness.com/online-coaching. You can find out all about my online coaching program and how I can help you build a leaner, healthier, stronger body that you always wanted without using SARMs, without using steroids, just by doing things the correct way, that maybe you've been missing that gap over a period of time. Maybe you've been in the yo-yo dieting loop and you want to break free from that. Come and have a talk to me. We'll talk about how I can get you from A to B in the fastest possible way. But until then, all I'm going to say is keep living the lean life, and I'll see you for the next one.